Hello and welcome to the Sly 3 Optimal Loot Tournament. Today we have a double header, which will decide who will join Bacon Man and Avatar in the semi-finals. Avatar is with me here on commentary for this first race between Riley and Frizz. How's it going, Avatar?
It's going rather well. It's been a rough weekend, but we're getting back on the kicker.
Glad to hear it.
And how are our runners doing today?
I'm doing puggers today.
I'm doing
Hyped.
sleepy, very sleepy, but I will try my best. That's all I have to say.
Well, great. If you don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So we will start on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait for the delay. And they're off to the races.
At least Frizz is. There we go. Exciting stuff. End of round 2 today.
Indeed, indeed. The round 2 matches have been rather interesting. With,
Yeah,
I
for
believe,
sure.
Bacon Man barely clutched a victory against Gems earlier this week.
Yeah, Gems had a powerful lead for most of the run, but you know how it is. You're stuck in episode 5, and Bakeman is able to make the comeback. You can see Frizz here, the first one to do Murray strats, is still playing Murray, of course, and Riley's on Sly.
Yeah, we have the gauntlet push boosting master versus the down under trucking Murray player.
Yep. It's interesting how, so far into the tournament, and still both characters seem to be perfectly viable, and there are still runners doing both. We haven't found like a consensus that one is better than the other.
Yeah, both
Seems
Sly
like
and Murray have their own advantages. Sly being very sneakily and being able to basically see what loot the guards have in their pockets, whereas Murray is better in a fighting standpoint and is able to handle the guards a lot better than Sly can.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about knowing what the loot looks like in their pockets if you're playing Murray, which is a nice, sort of weight off your shoulders. in a way.
Mhm. And it also creates a very interesting balance when, in a case like this, where a Sly player is going up against a Murray player, where you have to consider the Sly player has to consider if the coin tiebreaker is going to matter at all.
Yeah, that's
Because
true. Assuming you're skipping loots that aren't the one you're looking for, which it looks like Riley is doing, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose the coin tiebreaker. I feel like.
it definitely depends on how many loots you get as Sly and how many you choose to skip as well.
Although if you think about it, if you if you're skipping loots, surely you're going to save like at least 30 seconds, and you'd rather just beat your opponent by 30 seconds than be 30 seconds slower and then maybe win the tiebreaker.
Yeah, each loot loses, I believe it's 2.4 seconds in terms of looting animation, so that can stack up over time for Sly players if you get like, how many loots would have been on more than 12? 10, 12 loots roughly?
What'd you
You're
say,
able to get more
2.4?
2.4 seconds, yeah.
Let me pull out my calculator. Yeah, 12 and a half loots, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're able to get more than 12 loots, which you are statistically very likely to do, then Sly players will usually always have the time advantage in that regard. But then there's also you have to take into account Sly, the Murray loots faster than Sly does.
That's true. That's
So
true.
that balances it out a bit more.
Base, happy birthday. Everybody, it's Base's birthday today. No luck yet I think we've seen a few fast gold pens throughout this tournament. It is not the case this time.
Yeah, EP1 is infamous for you either get the gold pen very quickly or you end up having to skip it altogether. And neither of the runners have gotten one thus far.
Yeah, I think I've seen very few late gold pens.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any late ones either, which is very interesting. And that creates an interesting dilemma for future episodes, specifically EPs 2 and 3, where the optimal loots there, the gold medal and the large gold bar respectively, are also very hard to find.
Yeah. Oh, and Frizz has gotten the gold pen.
That is a massive advantage for Frizz indeed.
Absolutely. Now he gets to head on to his home turf. Not even 5 minutes in.
So we'll get to see how difficult or easy it's going to be for Frizz to find a gold medal here. And that right there is one of the reasons why EP2 is so infamously known for being tricky to find a good loot, because the flashlight guards in this episode can have bronze loot, so that pollutes the looting pool for the flashlight guards. However, the rooftop dingoes like this guy can also have... He had a bronze in this case, but they can have gold loot as well, so that makes it so that you can, on average, loot more guards in this episode compared to others. But the polluted pool still has like an effect.
I think episode 2 has been the least, or I should say the most skipped in this tournament. I don't have the cold hard facts on that one, but if I had to guess, I'd say so. Episode 3 is skipped quite a lot, but I feel like I've seen more large gold bars than I've seen gold medals.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen more gold bars as well. Although both EPs 2 and 3 are the most skipped, I do believe. Riley taking a big long break before looting that one guard, which seemed to have a silver pen now.
Yeah, I
Could
think
have been,
he was... I thought it was pen shaped. I guess he was inspecting it to see if it was gold or not.
The way I can typically see if it's a gold pen is if it's a white gem sticking out of one of the corners, but the one that Riley chose to not loot looked like a silver pen because the gem was blue.
I see.
Click the L3 button to find a job. It's time to get started.
We are back to the grind. Both players searching for a loot. I mean, that's the whole category.
Yeah, the whole point of the tournament is to the category in this question is optimal loot. So the goal is to find the optimal loot in every episode as fast as possible. And one has the option to skip ahead to the next episode after 10 minutes at the cost of a 3-minute penalty. And it's the one who finds the most loots / the fastest wins.
Most runners have been opting to skip pretty much as soon as they can. I think a lot of runners will, check one last guard if they see one. But I don't think anybody, or at least not very many people, have opted to actually spend like a considerable amount more time after they could skip.
It depends on the situation you're in, of course. Like if you're
Yeah.
in the lead, then skipping ahead an episode is a very safe choice to do. Whereas if you're behind the loot, then you may want to continue on digging just to make sure you get it.
Yeah, sometimes the only way you could possibly win is if you get the loot in the episode you're in, and so you just have to keep looking. Riley picks up a gold watch. Not the optimal loot.
This is not the loot we're looking for. Riley also coming up to being able to skip ahead to episode 2 if he chooses to in a minute. Whereas Frizz still has another 5 minutes to go, I believe, before he can skip to EV3.
Sounds about right. I think Shadow Power has become a lot more popular. I feel like in the first few matches we didn't see it at all. Although
Yeah,
I
in
guess against Knuti I don't actually have any idea what he did, so he might have used it.
Knuti did use Shadow Power level 2, I believe. We've seen most
That
people
makes
in
sense.
round 1 using Smoke Bomb, and most Sly players who moved on to round 2, so that would be me and Riley, so far at least, I don't remember. I think Gems also used Shadow Power level 2.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because Shadow Power level 2 has a lot of very great utility in terms of being able to get past cards without being spotted. And Smoke Bomb, it's very easy to just quickly swap over to Smoke Bomb in the case that you're spotted, so there's a lot of utility in that as well.
Riley is skipping straight away, as expected.
And those fast emulated load times really coming into play.
Absolutely. That was very fast.
It took like 4 seconds to go from out of the menu back into the episode.
Since Riley had to skip that, he'll have a 3-minute penalty added to his final time. So essentially, Frizz is 3 minutes ahead. Although everything will change if somebody pulls out a gold medal, or once Frizz skips, since he only has a few minutes until he can. Riley has to wait another 9.
And there Riley deploying Smoke Bomb strategies to avoid being detected.
Riley's really trying to pickpocket this guard. Looks like he's going to manage to. Despite everyone and their mother.
Gets the Helfer
being
for
in
some
the
extra
neighborhood.
juice. Sadly, none of the guards had the medal he was looking for. But it was a very good showcase of swapping between Shadow Power level 2 and Smoke Bomb to lose detection and then pickpocket guards while you're...
Absolutely.
If you weren't using Shadow Power level 2, you would have been in a bad position.
Riz is using the Thunder Flop quite a lot to efficiently knock out guards and sometimes to finish them off.
Yeah, that's one thing I saw Frizz do in the first round is he used Fist of Flame as the third Murray gadget. Usually the Murray gadgets you would opt to use are Ball Form for quick movement around and Berserker Charge to knock out flashlight guards if you're spotted by them and there isn't a tossable object around you. And I think since Beaver's match, Murray players have started using Temporal Lock to freeze guards in place, which is just a very nice utility tool if you have to loot one guard amongst a group of 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier than trying to knock them all out while also not killing the one that you're trying to loot.
Yeah, for sure.
Got, I think, about 1.5 minutes before Frizz can move on. Unsurprisingly, he's had little success in this episode, despite it being his homeland.
He has looted a lot of guards, which just comes to show how well Frizz knows how to play as Murray.
How well Frizz knows Australia.
That too, that too.
If I remember correctly, it was somewhere around. It will be somewhere around 1440 or so. Frizz will have the exact time of splits.
Yeah, it would be around 1450, I think. Looking at his segment timer on his stream.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm gonna ask what's my opinion on coriander. It's very nice in Asian dishes, but otherwise I'm usually a basil / oregano type of guy.
fair enough. Looks like Frizz is still looking for another guard.
He did indeed find one.
Wow, that's incredible.
Wow!
Frizz moves on to episode 3, spending all 10 minutes in the episode, but not incurring the 3-minute penalty.
This is a very, very big thing for Frizz, because if Riley doesn't manage to find a gold medal here, Frizz will all of a sudden be at a 6-minute advantage due to loot and loot penalties.
Not only that, but Riley still has to sit in this episode for another 4.5 minutes. So Frizz will be quite far ahead.
EP3 is also infamously known for its low guard density. There's like a total of 10 or 11, I would say, flashlight guards patrolling the area all around, whereas in the other episodes there's usually more than that. Not to mention the distance between them is also incredibly large.
Yeah, you do spend a lot more time just running around in this episode. Let's see Frizz utilize the trap there to kill a flashlight guard. I don't know if we've seen that yet.
I think we've seen traps being utilized a few times. Mostly for swag.
Although that one definitely seemed optimal.
True.
In this episode, depending on when you are playing it, whether it's after you've already beaten the episode or before, the river might be full like it is now or empty. With it full, it's harder to traverse, but we just, well, I say just saw. A little bit ago we saw Frizz throw a guard into the water to kill them quickly. So that could be a reason to want to have it full.
Yeah, for sure. Another reason as well is that the wolf can also drown in the river easier. However, the wolf also respawns like incredibly quickly. So that might not be the best choice.
I don't know. Can you cross the river as Murray when it's full? I know you can as Sly. I mean, even without push boosting. Obviously, you can with a push boost.
If you're on the windmill, I believe you can berserker charge over. Or no, if you're on the windmill, you can just walk along the beams just fine. No, I don't think so.
You have to take the bridge then.
Yeah, I have to take the bridge or go across the windmill beams. Chris has gotten a lot of gold pocket watches and gold medals so far.
No bars. I say that. He picks up the large gold
Oh,
bar.
there we go.
Frizz with the massive lead, moving on to episode 4. While Riley is just about to be able to leave episode 2.
I remember watching back my own match versus Shadows from the other day, with me also being in this situation where I've had the 3 first loots, and with the possibility being discussed of a all 5 loot run. So we'll see if Frizz, with this massive lead here, if he actually chooses to, if he doesn't find a large diamond in the first 10 minutes, if he chooses to stay just for the sake of making it a 5 loot run, that would be very big.
Yeah, we'll see. This is, he's definitely got the hard ones out of the way. Episode 4 is quite a bit easier to find. Although, I wouldn't go as far as to say easy to find.
Yeah, it definitely is easier, but still not the easiest. The easiest is definitely episode 5, where the large diamond jumps up a rarity tier, if you will, because the necklaces are more rare than it. Riley skipping ahead to episode 3.
We can see it is nighttime for Riley. And the large gold bar comes out almost immediately.
An instant requirement from...
First loot. And he's back in this game. Just like that. He still is going to have that 6-minute penalty to deal with. And as I say that, Frizz grabs the large diamond.
Oh my god!
Frizz with the 5 loot run. Assuming he finishes this out. Since you're required to get the loot in episode 5. This will be, I'm pretty sure, the first 5 loot run of the tournament.
This will indeed be the first 5 loot run of the tournament. It's only a matter of how fast can Frizz find it. He finds the guard with loot. And it's the Sapphire. I think from Remo statistics, that's the most common loot in
Yeah, I've definitely
Flash
seen a lot of
Regards.
Sapphires. We've seen some really slow episode 5s though, so this is far from over.
Yeah, for all we know, Riley can find 2 large diamonds very quickly here, and Frizz cannot find one for another 6 minutes.
Yeah, although 6 minutes is a long time. We've definitely seen situations where one runner now has 3 minutes, or rather 3.5 minutes, since they would win the tiebreaker, to find that large diamond. And I believe we've seen one that found it and one that didn't. There might be more that I'm not remembering. But 6 minutes we have yet to see.
Yeah, no, Bacon Man and Power Man's match ended up being with them finding the large diamond on the same second, roughly.
Yeah, that was an exciting one. And Frizz finds the large diamond.
It is over. Holy
What a
cow.
quick race. An absolutely incredible performance by Frizz. Every single loot.
Absolutely decimating Riley. I did not see this coming, I am not gonna lie.
Yeah, I did not think I'd get to see a 5 loot run today. It's incredible. Frizz will move on to the semifinals and face Avatar. Incredible match.
It looks like Riley has given up because he's just standing still. Which makes sense.
I mean, there's not much she can do about that. There's not much she can do against that.
That is definitely fair. He could still
Sometimes
continue on if he wanted to get a loot, but it definitely is over.
sometimes your opponent just gets all 5 loots in a little over 20 minutes, and you didn't.
Looking at Frizz's splits, that was a 22.5 minute run.
Crazy.
Fellas.
Welcome back, Frizz and Riley.
Hello.
Congratulations, Frizz, on making it to the semifinals and the 5 loot run.
That was a crazy run. The luckiest that has ever been.
Yep. How are
The
you feeling,
luckiest, I would
Frizz?
say, in that instance would have been the gold medal in episode 2, because it was the
Yeah.
last loot before you skipped.
Yeah, that was definitely gonna be my last loot pickup before I left. I already felt like I was just wasting time.
Well, it paid out for you that time, absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Riley, how was that run for you?
Pretty heartbreaking. Very much because really no guard in the beginning of the game had any loot, and just loots in general. They were just not happening, and they were just a watch. Never even saw like a ring or something. Just the bottom of the barrel, and it was just not that fun. It was just not that fun. And then I just hear Frizz, oh, I got a
Oh.
medal. I got a pin. Oh, I got a medal. I'm like, I've got nothing. Nothing so far.
You
It was
did get
just-
that large gold bar first loot of the episode.
Yeah, that was a
And,
pretty cool highlight. That was,
at that point, the comeback was looking very possible, but then
Oh,
Until
Frizz
Frizz
absolutely
denied it.
shut it down.
he shut my moment down. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a chance. The comeback of the century. And then I got the diamond. And I was like, oh, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sometimes it happens, and that's the thing with RNG, it's unpredictable.
Yeah, the game decided I was not up for it today, and I have to take that, and I will go to bed with it.
Hope you get a good night's sleep, Riley.
I will get,
Okay,
might
Barry,
cry a
you got
bit,
my interest.
probably
Well,
might
looks like I
might
may
tear
have to
up,
take care of a few guards if I'm
but
gonna get at those
hopefully
drill controls.
I will have a great night's rest, and I can think about it later.
Do you think that your lack of sleep affected your play today?
Sometimes. I think it sometimes affected me. But it didn't affect like my movement. I feel like that's just all like muscle memory. My decision making was not good though.
Yeah, I saw you debating on quite a few silver pens on whether you were gonna loot them or not.
Yeah, when I looked at the pouches, it took me a little bit more to recognize it was not it.
Yeah. That was maybe the smartest part of my strategy, was to schedule the match at a bad time for Riley. I
Oh
think.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Quite five head.
part of his strategy.
Yeah.
And now I know what kind of scheduling strategies you have to be aware of when you schedule our match, Frizz.
Yes. You gotta be ready for that.
Oh, I will be.
Great. Well, with that, I think we are going to go to a short break and then be back with the second match of the doubleheader, Slink versus Community, shortly.
Yeah.
Goodbye everyone.
I enjoyed my stay.
XQCL.
XQCL.